You know what I feel like today? I feel like I was gonna be jump into the actual sea, so that way I could able to swim up. So, here we go. 3, 2, 1, and boom! Yeah! That feels great, especially with the weather condition like this, but hey, at least that's something. So, hey, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? I am Piglet here once again, and I'm back for some more yet again for the Maxi Toys videos. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Let's Play of Kirby's Epic Yarn for the Nintendo Wii. So last time we actually did manage to completely done with the forms of some of these mission objectives for both Beatrix Run and especially notable for Carrie's Transport. And that's what I can really think about. So today for this episode, ladies and gentlemen, is the fact that we're finally going to be taking on the forms of the fourth world in the game, and that, believe it or not, is actually known as the Waterland. So, as we expected, is a sunny tropical beach setting world. So even though expecting we might actually come across into a lot of water involved. So, yeah, let's get started right there by the forms of Splash Beach, which is the first level in Waterland. So, yeah, let's get started there. Now, I really like it what this level starts off with, is the fact that we're actually doing this a completely opposite, that the fact that we actually start things off with a bright sunny day, but then at the very end we actually come across into a night settings, kind of like how we did in Sonic Unleashed, but now it's completely opposite this time, because we start things off at night, and then as soon as we're able to actually continuously progressing for the actual level, that you probably noticed how the fact that is the music's going a little bit more quieter, I'm assuming. Well, at least as I've noticed that for the start though. And basically, because we need to be able to go through here, and because of that, we need to be able to activate the sunrise. Because even then, if you activate the sunrise, then we can able to actually just to continue on with the level. So, even then though, because also is the fact that those turtles right there is actually blocking our path. So we need to able to actually bring the sunlight rise up. Because of that, that way we can able to actually continue on with the level itself. So, anyways though, we can able to actually simply just go through the actual zipper transport, and that way we could get ourselves the sun oasis. And there we go. So that way we can now do more things here and there, thanks to the forms of like changing through nighttime to daytime, which is kind of a different perspective right there when it comes to levels like you know, Sonic Unleashed day and night system, especially noticeable with the forms of you know, Mario Party 6 and stuff like that. Oh wait, I think they've already done that, haven't they? And especially with Horrorland from Mario Party 2, and I believe they've already done that, I believe so. So, anyways though, yeah, it's been about a couple of days since we're coming back into this game, because obviously the fact that recently that Mickey Mouse has finally recently finished up with his redo Let's Play of Sonic and the Secret Rings for the Nintendo Wii, so that way we could able to actually just to see how we can catch up with the most of these Sonic games Let's Play wise, because even then, there are some exceptions, but in forms of like, well, let's just say the Sonic Free Riders for the Xbox 360 Kinect, and especially noticeable with the Sonic Boom games, in which we'll get to that a bit later. Well, not the ones in the forms of Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric, that's what I'm really not hoping for. But even then though, because of that though, you know, that's the only thing I must confess right away. Okay, from there we get ourselves the first treasure in this level, which is the Sun Clock. Very easy to obtain though, if you see that coming. So, yeah, the gimmick of this level right there is the fact that, as you can see, every single water, well, usually just the water or the ocean or the sea, manage to keep on rising it up, and sometimes manage to descend it down. And because of that though, it feels kind of reminds me of the level from New Super Mario Bros. Wii, in the forms of like, let's just say level 6-2 or something. Basically, it's kind of like the same deal from this level, except, well, it's just all made out of yarn, instead of like a simplistic, New Super Mario Bros. Style. So, but I digress. So, a few things I want to explain about this, about the fact that, recently, during today, which is today was actually forms of, the 18th of September, in the forms of 2018. So that way we've still at the halfway point of September already. So even then though that we've nearly get towards at the forms of October, which is a date that not only because of Super Mario Party is going to be released, but also the Luigi's Mansion 3DS, let's just say the 3DS port, because I say port, it's nothing like a remake, but it's more likely just the 3DS port, because they don't have, the remake, music, unlike the forms of, like, Mario Luigi Superstar Saga plus Bowser's Minions and all that stuff. And even Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story plus Bowser Jr.'s Journey and stuff like that. It's because those two 3DS remakes of Mario Luigi does have a revamped music and stuff. But even then, speaking of which, oh yeah, by the way, I've managed to claim myself my moon clock right there, because, as far as this level applies, we got ourselves based off from the sun and moon objects, or in this case, the actual levels mechanic at the beginning, so that makes it very obvious there, so, yeah. Yeah, I really do apologize about the fact that my voice has gone a little bit iffy today. It's most likely because I got extremely tired today, but even then, it's not like how it does it in the forms of, like, I was hoping for the new Nintendo Direct, which it already did happen and during the likes of, like, almost a week ago now. Because of that, one thing that caught me off guard is the fact that since we're going to be going back into Kirby's Epic Yarn after several days delay, this means is that the 3DS version, or to be more specifically, the new Nintendo 3DS / new Nintendo 2DS versions, because of that though, they managed to able to announce that, and it's going to be released until next year. So, I will say though, is that combined with the forms of, I really do enjoy this game so far on the Nintendo Wii version, because it's quite different from any other Kirby games I've played. But also because of how the fact that I'm mostly excited by the forms of, like, the 3DS version of the game. Because of that, first of all, it adds a hard mode this time around though, by the forms of the devilish mode. That's how it should be done, but even then, it's nothing too much of a big of a deal, I will admit though, but we'll explain more now later as soon as we move on to the next level. Oh yeah, that's more like it. So yeah, for that last treasure right there, we got ourselves the, that specific, CD, thing right there, so, yeah, I thought we're bringing this up, so, anyways, so, now we can actually get ourselves even more beads after we haven't, we got some of them, but in forms of, like, several missions and stuff. In fact, speaking of missions, there you go then, there's one from Carrie's Transport, and there's another one, but in forms of Ziki's hide-and-seek challenges, so, but I thought I might as well able to do those after this world is done, and mainly the other worlds after that, beyond that, so, thought it's worth bringing it up. Alright, so the next level we've unlocked, in fact we've actually activated the whistle patch, and that way we can actually unlock the Blub Ocean. And I believe this level will actually features another transformation, so even then though we could able to actually see what the next transformation is going to be like. Specifically because of how the fact that we're going to be swimming underwater for the entire time, so even then, that's how this world suggests it usually calls it Waterland, because we're going to be swimming a lot in this world. So even then, I'm expecting so for that anyway, so what's kind of cute though is the fact that one thing I forgot to mention is the fact that every time you actually get into underwater, Kirby automatically transforms into the forms of Kirby Marine, so that's very cute. And because basically what you can do with it is the fact that you can able to actually just press 2 to able to actually swim up a little bit, and also press the 1 button to, oh my lord, oh jeez. Oh thank goodness, that Blumfish doesn't hurt me, unlike the ones in the traditional Kirby games and stuff like that. And the reason why we're going up here, because of the first treasure, so that way we get the jellyfish lamp, so that way we can able to actually decorate the room, especially noticeable when we actually, like, get to that certain points throughout, so, yeah. So, yeah, I was very excited by the forms of how the fact that now there's actually a 3DS version of Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn, as what the actual title implies. So that means there's gonna be, well, it's kind of like the same thing from this version, or in this case, the Wii version of the game, but there are some, extra, additional content, like the forms of, let's just say, play as both King Dedede and especially Meta Knight in some of those minigames, kind of like how it did in the, the Poochie levels from Poochie and Yoshi's Woolly World for the 3DS, kind of like in that particular game. But except the fact that, well, it's usually on the exact same style, but in forms of like a yarn, woolly-esque environments and stuff. And that's what I could really come for right there. So, and just need to able to take down this jellyfish really quickly. Even though the jellyfishes can be very dangerous though, especially if you don't really know what you're expected to able to actually what they do. And basically what they're trying to do is the fact that they're trying to electrify you. So even then, if they start to do like that, right, like this one for instance, do not able to grab them, because even then, if you do accidentally grab them or something, you'll lose a whole bunch of beads. And speaking of such, you know how the fact that we need to able to actually just can't afford to get hit at least once or twice, because if we get hit most of the time, then we're probably not going to get the medal all by itself. So, and here we've got these little familiar enemies. Now, in order to actually deal with them, is by simply we need to able to throw the projectile in order to actually just to kill them. I mean, that's the only method you can only do. So there's no way you can able to actually turn them into a projectile ball and stuff like that. So, anyways, I think that's it from here. And here, this is where we get ourselves our next transformation, which we've transformed into ourselves the Dolphin Kirby. Now, this is actually very adorable looking, especially whenever how the fact that, look how the way that it looks, because even then, especially with the actual acrobatic moves and stuff like that. So yeah, that's very convenient now, we'll admit that right away. But, yeah, because basically the simple controls for the Dolphin Kirby as far as it'll go. Think of like how it does it in Echo the Dolphin series for the Mega Drive / Sega Genesis, except the fact that a little bit more, I would say a little bit more fluid than the likes of the archaic controls in mind, by the forms of Echo the Dolphin to me though. Although, I did try one of those before, but I know a lot of people seem to think that, I think probably the second game might be the best of the series or something like that, because whilst the forms of the first game was pretty good for the time, however though, that game is so pretty difficult for that game, because I know for the fact that it's the first game in the series of Echo the Dolphin, and as a result, there are no checkpoints unless if you're actually trying to use the save states in certain compilation games, like for instance, it has one from Sega Mega Drive Ultimate Collection for the PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, and I think that's it for the most part. So, expecting so that, yeah, for those of you who ever purchased the original cartridge-only version of Echo the Dolphin, just good luck with that, because that game is really, really darn difficult. And by the way, what's unique about this is the fact that you can actually bypass through every single rings. Don't tell me it's like Superman 64 all over again, but except in a good way, because even then, because of how the usage of the transformation will actually work out, and because of that though, if you manage to bypass just only one ring, or one of those rings that has like a little bit of a stripy look to it, you can actually bypass through the ring like 3 times, and then if you do so, you can actually get even more beads while doing so. So, and by the way, you know these little enemies that I was on about earlier ago? You can also kill them with the forms of the actual dolphin transformation too. So that's far as worth bringing up. So, yeah, pretty cool stuff, naturally. And from here, we need to get our momentum going to able to get ourselves the second treasure, which appears to be the CD itself. So let's go ahead and get our timing going, and we get ourselves the theme of the Blub Blub Ocean. So, I really love the music in this level though. It almost reminds me like I was playing Wario Land The Shake Dimension for the Nintendo Wii all over again, but with a, you know, different visual style, because even then, in Wario Land The Shake Dimension, they usually have an anime style, whilst in this it's basically just a yarn style. And then in Yoshi's Woolly World, it was all about Woolly's crafted, in this case, Woolly visual style. But now we have the forms of the latest games for Good Feel is going to come up until next year. Now the forms of Yoshi's Crafted World is going to be on that crafted style, like a cardboard style. Now we can able to actually see that coming. So, but even then, I'm really looking forward to that game as well, by the way. So, anyways though, from here, this is where we need to able to actually just toss one of those special item ball. In fact, we actually got ourselves the aquarium. That way we can able to get ourselves the third and final treasure from that. But the ones you need to able to actually just to be cautious about, and that's the forms of the red ball, because if you manage to able to toss the red ball onto its net, and basically you can able to actually get some of these rewards based off from what prizes you have claimed. Like for instance, we got ourselves, you know, the aquarium after that little red ball that we just tossed it through, and especially noticeable with these little yellow star balls, which are essentially those star beads. So. But even then, that it can be very helpful if you want to able to get the gold medal. But even then, I've got enough as it is. So, yeah, let's finish off the main level. Please give me something rewarding. Nice. 3011. How about that then, huh? Alright, so now we've got ourselves our next patch that we've actually unlocked. And that way we can actually even unlock more levels as a result of that too. So, let's see what we got. Well, first of all, we need to able to skip those treasure sequences. So we've got the hoop patch. And a new stage unlocks in new forms of the Beatrix run. So, but again, we'll get to those missions during a later time. So don't worry, we'll get to those. So let's see what this will activate. I can't believe that whale might have gone through the hoop in the first place. But hey, kudos to him. Who knows? Alright, so we've now actually unlocked the secret island. Or in this case, secret island, I should say. So, yeah, let's get into this, shall we? In fact, this level kind of reminds me like the forms of somewhat similar level trope, but in forms of Dino Jungle, except the fact that there's a lot more emphasis on background and foreground type of mechanic and stuff like that, which I know is a little bit more to understanding and all that stuff. So anyways, let's go ahead and just throw those flying type enemies as far as you might notice, even though I did not exactly know most of those enemies' names, unlike the forms of how it does it in well, you know, Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, and especially noticeable in the future games and onwards during time, and even for buddy forms of like let's just say in the most recent Kirby game, and those new forms of Kirby Star Allies. In fact, the reason why I mentioned this before, the fact that I mentioned about the fact that, you know how the fact that with the Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn is going to be only exclusive to the forms of the new Nintendo 3DS models / new Nintendo 2DS models, which, because of that though, I'm not sure why that's been explained, but I'm considering this might be something to do with like, well, I don't know, like, I don't really know actually, to be honest with you guys, because, well, I just do not understand how the fact that why this game was originally going to be, well, this game was going to be originated by the every single Nintendo 3DS models to be worked on, but it turns out there's going to be just for new Nintendo 3DSs only. So even then, kind of like how it did in you know, in Minecraft and Fire Emblem Warriors and Xenoblade Chronicles 3D. And I mean, what's next? I mean, like, I don't really mind about it too much though, because other than that, it doesn't bother me too much, because after all, I've got myself my, you know, my new Nintendo 3DS XL with me still, so even then I can still get a chance to play this version of the game once that game comes out. So, but even then, I'm really looking forward to able to replay that game again all over again, even though it's kind of odd they did not be bothered to able to actually just make something original for those 3DS titles ever since, well, let's just say ever since, I'm not sure actually, because other than that, well, some of these 3DS games originated, they are kind of original, like, let's just say by the forms of like, I just get confused right now. I have no idea how this works, but anyways. Alright, so what we can do here, the fact of the matter is though, is that first of all I need to get these beads quickly, and also if we go all the way over there, and that way we can able to actually get ourselves the other way, but other than that, I might as well able to go after those beads first before I'm able to actually solve this little puzzle segment first, and other than that, then we can able to actually just to do that way. I do know there's 2 alternative ways we can do this, or maybe it's just only one of them. Oh, actually, I think there's only one way we can able to do this, so... But even then, though, so you're able to deal with that, and toss the actual, spear projectile, and that way we can unravel the piece of yarn to able to reveal the exclamation mark point. So, I wonder what that leads us to, I wonder. Well, we'll never know until we're able to keep following that, and that was actually really, really close. Especially I don't want to get hit by the Waddle Dees. They usually have, like, you know, some spears and all that stuff. So, anyways, let's unravel that, and that way we get ourselves a, well, let's just say a cuckoo or something like that. I'm not sure what that animal's name. Let me know in the comments below. So, and here we get ourselves a Titan pole. So, yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. And also, that ever since in Big Bean Vine, we have ourselves the returning of those balloon Waddle Dees, which, just like before, these are mandatory if you want to able to go all the way up to the level, in case if you want to able to actually just discover some more secrets, including some of those bees collecting, and, you know, you name the rest. So, and the reason why we're going on to the far right of that section over there, because, oh my god, oh, phew, that was very close. And that way, we get ourselves the last treasure in this level, and that is the Splash Island nighttime theme. So, yeah, that's all I can really think about for its time's sake of beings. So, anyways, let's go ahead and just traverse through there, and let's activate this, and I think I somehow screwed it over. I think so. Yeah, I think I screwed it over, so that's totally my fault. Usually I'm very good in some puzzle elements, but I'm not very good at all of the puzzles, though. I'm gonna say that much, because sometimes I get confused, or especially noticeable, it's kind of hard to able to memorize where you have to do this thing right. But apart from that, though, it's alright. But even then, I might as well able to simply to skip it, so... Oh well, no big deal. No big deal at all. But at least we can able to actually finish up the main level at this point, as far as this point in time. So... yeah, there's another thing I just want to explain about this, actually. It's the fact that they've actually recently announced there's going to be some more things to talk about by the forms of Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS. According to the Game Explained footage, they managed to able to showcase off the forms of the co-op aspect of the forms of Luigi's Mansion remake on the Luigi's Mansion 3DS port on the forms of the 3DS, and they managed to able to first try themselves the co-op mode. And what do I think about the actual footage of it? It's alright. I mean, I kind of prefer just playing Luigi's Mansion for myself sometimes, but usually it doesn't mind about it in the forms of Scare Scraper from Luigi's Mansion 2, because you can able to actually just you know, team up with your friends in the multiplayer aspect, including online mode as well. So that way it makes much more sense in the forms of Luigi's Mansion 2, so that way you can able to actually experience multiplayer within. I'm not sure I feel like the same way for the co-op aspect of Luigi's Mansion on the 3DS, honestly, because I've already experienced the GameCube version before, and I have no problems with it without any even two players aspect of it. So, expecting so for that anyway. One thing I will admit though right away is that the frame rate, especially in the co-op mode, is not that perfect, because kind of like how it does it in the most inferior Sonic Boom Rise of Lyrics co-op mode, that the frame rate just drops into, like, let's just say 15 to 20 or something like that. But I really don't know if it's that specific though. But even then, I might as well confess about that. But, you know, we'll explain more on that later. So here we go, on to the next level, Deep Dive Deep. So, again, it's going to be another underwater focused level. So, but this time, it's going to get a lot more tricky and challenging though, I will admit that right away. And because of that though, I'll explain more on that later as soon as we're able to actually just explore this place. But in fact, not only Super Mario Party is going to be released until next month and stuff, but also Luigi's Mansion 3DS Portal will be on its way next month as well. And I'm really looking forward to both of them. And as you can see, I accidentally got hit by the forms of those giant eels, because obviously the eels are essentially electrifying creatures by the forms of the sea nature. And I have no idea why they actually bring back those volcano interruption obstacles there ever since in Lava Landing, which I know it's because of the video game logic, but that's besides the point. So, even though I do apologize with the, joke, I just bring things up for Slim Kirby, but that's just how I think it is, whenever I feel like it. So, anyways though, aside from that though, and yeah, I do apologize if I feel a little bit iffy for this point today, because, well, there's not much else I can really explain about this, honestly, other than, well, new forms of the new footage is being showcased, in new forms of Luigi's Mansion for the 3DS, like the new co-op aspect and stuff like that, which is alright, but the frame rate has gone a little bit more drastically iffy about it, but even then, that's as far as you might as well see this one turns out, so... And the reason why I'm going to be holding my projectile from here, because we need to able to actually just to stun the anglerfish, and because of that, we can able to get ourselves the forms of the first treasure, Dangler Light. So, yeah, everything's all self-explanatory right there. And right there, this is where we need to able to get chased by the forms of the anglerfish. Because of that, if you get hit by... Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I can able to actually just shoot. Oh, you... That was a very bad start. I'm actually gonna be blaming, that particular, that particular, volcano eruption right there, so I must confess right about now. So, I must admit that I do apologize for that. So anyways, let's go ahead and just continue where we left off. I'm probably not gonna be getting the gold medal on this for the first attempt though, because if you couldn't tell, that I've already get hit like several times, even getting squashed as a result too. Oh yeah, by the way, we got ourselves the returning dolphin transformation right there from the start. So, very cool and very agonizably cool as well. So, yeah, another thing I want to explain about this is the fact that they bring up another new set of footages of the forms of Super Mario Party, because I think I get the idea with this solution's going. And by the way, we got ourselves a must treasure right there. So if you want to able to actually go to alternative routes, or in this case, in order to actually get to that treasure, you know these little alcoves right there? They usually have like a whole bunch of rectangle outlines. Well, basically we need to able to actually traverse them, other than we can able to actually just to see what some of these stuff is about to be on itself. So... yeah, it's a pretty, usual bits and bobs and stuff like that, so... Anyways, though, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, I'm also able to destroy those blocks, and because of that, we need to able to, activate those blocks in the first place to get the, let's just say the third and the final treasure in this level. Seriously, this level has actually gone quite ridiculously quick, assuming if you're able to actually try to do multitasking all at once. Like the forms of beading collecting, and especially noticeable with the treasure grinding as well. So, that can get a little bit more multitasking, I have to say that much, so... I will admit though right away is the fact that trying to actually just trying to jump all the way up is the fact that if you want to get that start beat, if you really want to get yourself your momentum going, sometimes it takes me a lot of practice to able to actually just to do that technique. I know some people seem to do those no problem. But for me, I need to get a lot of practice on that particular technique, because even then, if I manage to perform that just right, then I can able to actually just to go ahead and just grind for more beats and all that stuff. But either way, that can get some potentials there, so... the only thing you need to worry about in this section though, as you can see there, is the forms of, as you expected, those eels, because again, those eels are electrifying, and as a result, you might probably gonna get hit if you do not pay attention to that, so... Here's another Danglerfish chase sequence here, so even then, as you expected, that we need to able to get out of this. Oh, shoot. Oh, Christ. Ugh. Oh, jeez. I just always get hit several times in this particular section, especially where... oh, it doesn't help these enemies are... No! You gotta be kidding me. I guess this might be will do for the first attempt, other than... I'm not sure if there's anything possibilities to able to actually just, oh, so close. In fact, let me just go ahead and finish off the main level, and yeah, I didn't get as many of those ending wheels, and let's go ahead and just activate this. So, do we get it? Come on. Ah! Well, there goes the first failure attempt for the gold medal department right there. I might as well blame on that. dangler fish, or even for... No, not the dangler fish, but just a volcano eruption for the beginning, so I might as well blame on that. Oh, that's a bit annoying, but hey, on the plus side though, I'm pretty sure we got enough time to able to do this on a successful attempt, even though this might be actually be the longest video of this particular Let's Play yet. So, anyways, let's activate the vase patch, and that way we should let this particular guy hide himself with this particular vase-shaped hole. And that way we can unlock the boss stage, or in this case the boss of Waterland, Capamari. But obviously we can't do that just yet though, because I might just simply go back into this level like very quickly. But don't worry, I will do this in a quicker run, and this time, hopefully we can able to get ourselves the gold medal within that way, because I'll show you guys how to get the gold medal on this level. Because of that, I don't feel like going for the actual, jump cutting most of the actual footage all by itself, because I'll save those, when we're able to actually when we actually miss out on some treasures and stuff like that. But when it comes to grinding the gold medals and stuff like that, I don't think I can able to do that though, I don't think. But aside from that though, this level's going really, a little bit quicker. Well, it all depends if you're able to actually just a little bit more busy work. To be able to actually hunt for not only treasures, but also some of these beads as well you need to grind through. But still, it sometimes feels a little bit busy work and stuff, so... Anyways, we need to be very careful of these jellyfishes, but hey, at least we can able to actually just to see how this will turn out. I guess we should probably explain about the forms of the new information of Super Mario Party, as long as we can able to actually play for this level again. Basically, they actually add in 15 minutes of the actual footage of Super Mario Party. They didn't show us off the forms of the actual plaza menu, or in this case the plaza hub. I think the reason being for that is because they don't want to spoil the actual point of it yet. Other than we did technically already see that in the forms of not only by the forms of the Nintendo Direct in this month, but also by the forms of a Japanese gaming show series, by the fact that those two men, including some of the actual I don't know what you actually just call it that, because I'm not exactly entirely translated to Japan that much in comparison to the international English and stuff like that. I will admit though right away. But I do know some of them at the time though. But anyways, let's go ahead and just transform back into ourselves a dolphin transformation once again. And you know, thankfully though, we don't have to worry about just trying to able to grab those treasures again, other than just concentrate on the level itself again. So... yeah, this might be a little bit more busy work for this video, because other than that, we, not only do we have to get most of the treasures, but also by the forms of trying to able to get the better attempt of the gold medal requirements on this level, as you can tell. So, yeah, I will admit though right away that I'm not sure my mood is actually going a little bit more hesitated and stuff, but until maybe we get to tomorrow's next video, hopefully my mood starts to get a little bit more upgraded and decent one at that. So, anyways though, let's go ahead and just traverse from the other side there, and hopefully we don't get hit by these little eels, not to mention. And other than that, yeah, that's where I could really come from for this point. So. And also they did actually showcase off the actual, they don't show the full game of the actual Super Mario Party, of the forms of that. The only boards they did show us off is the forms of the Mega Fruit Paradise at the moment. Well, they did already showcase off the forms Domino Ruins back in E3 during the likes of, let's just say 3 months ago now. Especially noticeable with the forms of the Gold Mine, Gold Rush Mine. In fact, one thing I will admit though right away is the fact that originally, that in the forms of the Gold Rush Mine, how the fact that that board is going to be exclusive to the forms of Partner Party, but it turns out it's going to be shared. See Banana, it's kind of like how it did in both Mario Party mode, and especially noticeable in Bowser Party mode for Mario Party 10. Although except the fact that in Mario Party mode, that it only has just only 5 boards. Whereas the forms of Bowser Party, they did have 3 boards. See, Vanilla, it's kind of like the same thing for, you know, Super Mario Party when it comes to both Mario Party mode and Partner Party mode. Or in this case, in the Japanese version of that mode, it normally calls it Mario Party 2-on-2 because, you know, it's somewhat similar to Team Battle. But anyways, though, folks, we're gonna have to end things off at this point right there, I'm afraid, guys. So join me next time. But let's play Kirby's Epic Yarn. Is the fact that we're gonna be taking on the I would say the fourth boss in the game, which is the forms of Campo Mori. So yeah, this should be interesting. So see you guys then. Later, fellas.